Oh hey, we just finished the Batman 1990s quadrilogy. Don't know what you guys have been up to. So Aidan, what is the plot of Batman and Robin?
Batman and Robin is a couple years after Batman Forever. I don't even know if it's a couple years. It's an unspecified amount of time. Val Kilmer has gotten extensive plastic surgery to make himself look like, or Bruce Wayne has gotten extensive plastic surgery to make himself look like George Clooney instead of Val Kilmer. Him and Robin are still up to their good old stuff, but they're having a little conflict because Robin feels a little bit too much like a sidekick. A woman named whatever Poison Ivy's normal human name is gets a bunch of chemicals thrown on her by a guy who's been pumping the chemicals into a wrestler, which makes Poison Ivy and Bane, who team up with the plan of wiping out all human life. In the meanwhile, Mr. Freeze is stealing diamonds around town in Gotham. I'm sure many of you know, but he's collecting diamonds because his wife is sick, and also he's in
Nora.
He's also in a freeze suit that he powers with diamond lasers somehow. So he's collecting diamonds to try to bring her back to life. Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze decide to team up. Poison Ivy basically tricks Mr. Freeze into it. And they have a plan to freeze all of Gotham. Mr. Freeze does it because he thinks Batman murdered his wife, which he did not. Poison Ivy does it because she's horny for plants. And Bane is just kind of there and doesn't have any lines. And also, Alfred is sick with the same thing that Nora has, Mr. Freeze's wife. Coincidentally. And his niece, Barbara, is in town. And she is not Barbara Gordon. She's Barbara Pennyworth, I suppose. For some reason. But she eventually becomes Batgirl for like 10 minutes at the end of the movie. And Robin is horny for her. Everyone's horny for everyone. Connor, what'd you think of Batman and Robin?
This is one of those movies, kind of like Batman the Phantom Menace, where I don't even have any thoughts. I don't know what to fucking say. I mean, I do have thoughts, but at the same time, I watch it and I'm baffled. Like, it's not a movie that's boring. It's not even a movie that's funny bad. It's just batshit fucking insane is the best way to describe it. This movie's immensely campy.
This movie goes full retard.
Yeah, it's like a 90s version of the Adam West show, but maybe the Batman 66 show at least has the level of attempted campiness, or like it knows what it is. I don't know if this movie knew what it was, but I think it does, but I don't know. I mean, there's the usual things people complain about. There's like the Bat credit card. The villains are fucking awful. There's a lot to complain about. I'm just gonna unpack it from the first thing I can think of. Batman in this movie, now portrayed by George Clooney.
Terrible.
A far stretch from Michael Keaton's Batman. Could George Clooney do a good Batman? Maybe. The dialogue for Bruce Wayne is pretty shit. He's Batman for... This movie's the opposite of Batman Returns, or like what you should do with the Batman, where there's very little Bruce Wayne and it's almost constantly Batman, where most movies are a lot of Bruce Wayne and they use Batman fairly sparingly. Bruce Wayne had very little to do except be sad that Alfred was dying. And
well, he
I
also has
don't...
a girlfriend who just breaks up with
Yeah,
him
he has a
halfway through.
girlfriend that's unimportant. Maybe that was supposed to add tension with his interest in Poison Ivy, but it didn't.
Maybe.
It didn't really add much. That was a very half-baked storyline, so it's very forgettable. George Clooney played a very campy Batman. Didn't really care to play Bruce Wayne, as Bruce Wayne was fucking horrible. Alfred finally kind of got character development, I suppose, because he was dying and his niece came into town, but that ultimately led pretty much nowhere. Barbara magically could become Batgirl with no training for some reason. She was just good enough, and Bruce didn't even resist the idea, even though Robin...
He didn't even know about the idea, and then she shows up, and he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he didn't even know who she was until like halfway through the fight with Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, I don't know how it
Or
took...
Poison
I
Ivy.
don't know why it took him so long to figure that out.
Right.
She wasn't even wearing a cowl or anything, she just had the tiny little Robin mask on.
Right, and Bruce didn't have any objections to this for some reason. He was just fine with it, even though like Robin, who at least had like acrobatic training and a level of martial arts training, he was upset about him trying to become Robin. But when Barbara tried to become Batgirl without any training, it was fine, I guess. Barbara was half-baked. Robin had nothing really to do in this entire story except he had a crush on Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy was horrible. Arnold was fucking horrible as Mr. Freeze.
What did you think about? What did
Bane
you think about
was
Coolio?
horrible. Coolio was in it. He was horrible. He wasn't horrible. He had nothing to do.
He didn't even. I don't think you know.
I was just like, is that fucking Coolio? And then it was, and I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, apparently Coolio cameoed in this movie because he was promised the part of Scarecrow in the next one.
Like all these movies, they kind of butchered the backstories of characters, like Barbara in this movie, for example. Her backstory in the comics is she's Commissioner Gordon's daughter, and she's secretly a crime fighter because she's really smart and learned martial arts. Decent enough backstory. Why they needed to change it to be Alfred. Like, I don't get why they try to do, like, deep character development for Alfred. Like, maybe if they actually took it somewhat seriously, I would be more forgiving of the fact that Barbara was Alfred's daughter or niece. But they didn't do much with it. She's just mysterious niece we've never heard about. It was very fucking whatever. Who cares? Barbara was a non-character. She barely did shit until she showed up as Batgirl. Just be fucking cuz. Why not? Mr. Freeze had a fairly faithful backstory, but Mr. Freeze is a very tragic and tortured character. In this movie, he made Mr. Freeze puns the whole time. He's like, it's an ace gold. You're frozen now, Batman.
Every single line.
Freeze you. It's like every fucking line. But he was never, like, the only time he seemed sad is when Nora died. For like one scene he was sad. Then he got over it and he was just a goofy villain. Like, it's not like his situation kind of makes him evil or like makes him kind of crazy, like in the like Batman the Animated Series, for example. And it's not like a situation where he's trying to save his wife and that's why he's doing these heists. He's just fucking evil because, and he has a wife, but he gets over her death very fast. So yeah, the fundamentals of Mr. Freeze were there, but it kind of felt short. Poison Ivy, God knows what her motivation was, because she kind of just had like the Michelle Pfeiffer, I'm gonna burn shit down in her first scene, but then she loved the plant life, but she's just like lighting her research on fire, so it seemed kind of contradictory. Poison Ivy was a very non-character, other than the fact that everyone thought she was hot and she was a seductress.
Well, at least they had more character than the third villain. And
then Bane, like, they wanted Bane because I think he was kind of like a popular villain. He was a popular villain at the time. They didn't understand Bane. They knew Bane was strong, and they were like, okay, so he's basically like the Hulk, except fights Batman. And that's what they made him, but more fucking stupid because he's just like Poison Ivy's henchman.
He doesn't have a single line in this movie.
He's like Bob the Henchman in Batman '89. Like, he's a non-character. He doesn't really do anything. He's an extra.
He literally has no lines in this movie.
But in the comics, Bane's like incredibly intelligent. They kind of passed over that. He's just kind of a strong guy in this.
You're a
strong
guy for you.
It's just fucking like, they're like, we want a strong guy.
I have to.
And they're like, WB's like, yeah, this Bane guy's selling well in the comics, and they're like, okay, yeah, let's not read the comic that he's based on. Bane's like one of Batman's most intelligent and formidable villains, and in this movie, he's just generic strongman.
If I had to
It was
guess,
actually fucking stupid as hell.
they probably shoved him in after the script was done because he was popular and they were just too lazy to write him in. So they're just like, yeah, you can just be Ivy's henchman, whatever.
They kind of just shoehorned him in.
Change all of Ivy's nameless henchmen and scenes that they appear in into Bane and be like, okay, good enough.
Or they just, third draft, they just tossed him in, but he wasn't important at all. He just kind of was like, "Argh," and then attacks. Probably what happened. This movie isn't shot bad. The action isn't bad. It's occasionally funny. It's not offensive. I don't even know what to say, because watching it, I'm not like bored out of my ass. I don't see a lot of shit that's blatantly bad. It's just when you look at the grander picture, it's just fucking stupid. That's the problem. It's not a badly made film. It's just really fucking stupid from start to finish. It jumped the shark. Batman jumped the shark at this point. They needed to be done with it. They needed to reboot. I don't think they knew where they wanted to go with this. I think they were trying to do something kind of inspired on Batman 66 maybe, but I don't even know if that's true. That might just be grasping for straws. It's just campy. It's corny. I don't know what they were going for. And I don't hate it. Like, it's not in the high tier, like, this movie's ungodly bad. Like, it is ungodly bad, but at the same time, it's not ungodly bad. I don't even know what to say about it. Like, I watch it, my brain goes numb. There's so much shit going on, I never have a fucking clue what's going on. It just kinda sucks, but it kinda doesn't at the same time. I don't know what to say about it. It's so fucking weird. Like, it's not bad like a traditional bad movie. It is unique as hell. It's like I said it was like the Freddy Got Fingered action movies, but at least I think Freddy Got Fingered is funny in a shock humor kind of way. And this movie's kind of keynote to watch, like when Batman and Robin do the Sonic Adventure surfboarding through the sky.
That's the Chaos Emerald! Where do you think you're going with that emerald?
Sonic, you little thieves!
It seems like not a single person working on this movie gave a singular fucking shit about what they were making. They were just like, let's just make it. And the villains are fucking awful, I won't lie. But everything else is serviceable enough. It's just like the most serviceable movie, but you can tell no one gave a shit. That's the best way I can describe it. I don't even know what to say. Like, this has been like one of the hardest movies for me to review because I just have no fucking idea what to say about it. The world is decent. It kind of expands on the Val Kilmer. It feels kind of like It feels like a bizarre fucking acid trip. Gotham. That's the best way to describe it. Like, it's more stylized and enclosed like the Michael Keaton films in ways. Like, there's more locations and it's a grander scale, but for some reason it feels more claustrophobic, where like Val Kilmer's feels kind of grounded in like a real world with scale. It feels like this movie is in some sort of weird dimension where some weird fucking like hokey circus dimension. I don't even know how to fucking describe what I'm trying to say. It's a fucking trip, and I don't know what to say. I can't call it overtly bad. It's definitely not good. But I don't even know what to fucking say about it. It's just so fucking weird. It's a bizarre anomaly. I think a lot of people I've seen kind of talk about it, and even when I was a kid, I kind of just thought it was horrible. But now that I watch it, it's just so fucking weird. I don't even know what to fucking say. It's so hard to fucking talk about because I don't know what... I wish I knew the true intention. I don't even think like the filmmakers and the actors know what they were going for with this. I have no fucking clue. what the fucking idea was. Because I think whatever they were going for, they did it exactly how they wanted. And what they wanted was a weird clusterfuck. And I just don't have a fucking single fuck what the hell went on in this 2 hours that I just sat there. I don't know what to say about it. It's so fucked. So, Aiden, what do you think about this movie?
You know what this movie is?
What?
This isn't a movie. This is a stage show.
It is shot like a stage
It is.
show.
This is literally a stage show. I thought about it. Right. This movie, it has action scenes. None of them are dynamic. None of them move from place to place. Everything takes place on really hokey sets that are bizarrely lit. Like, there's a scene where Bruce Wayne's hosting like this charity ball. Mr. Freeze breaks in, and after he breaks in, all the lighting goes from being like semi-realistic to being like blue swimming icicles in the backgrounds and everything.
Right.
Everything looks like it's done on a stage. Everyone acts like they're on a stage. Every set feels like a stage. And most importantly, the opening action scene of this movie is Batman and Robin fighting a bunch of hockey players on ice skates. This is fucking Batman on ice put on DVD. And I love it.
Dude, I think you're right, bro. I think that's the best way to describe it. Because Joel Schumacher also directed The Phantom of the Opera. This is a Batman fucking stage show. This is Batman the musical, but they cut out the musical numbers. That's what it fucking is.
If this was a stage
It's
show...
a goddamn, like, high school put on a Batman stage show with $100 million and a Hollywood director.
You could almost one-to-one translate this movie to the stage with only very minor changes.
Even like Poison Ivy getting eaten up by the fucking piranha? Yeah. Dude, you're totally
this
fucking
movie
right.
Is like a bizarre stage show.
It is.
And, okay, if you think about it...
It's not the greatest stage show,
but
you're not wrong.
If you think about this as being canon with the other movies, it sucks.
Right.
Well, it doesn't suck. I do enjoy it. And I'll get into that in a second. But what I like to think about this movie as... This takes place after the Val Kilmer movie, right?
Right.
This is a stage show that somebody made based on the adventures from the previous movie, starring George Clooney. This is the Broadway Batman show, canonically.
It is the weird...
Based on the life of Bruce Wayne from Batman
If they
Forever.
made a Batman show, I could totally see it being like this. Like the Spider-Man show, for example. Like Spider-Man gets his powers from the Greek gods. Mm-hmm. None of the villains are even accurate, and then the ones that are even from the comics aren't accurate, and the other ones are just like made up. I think you're onto something.
It's set up like a bizarre stage.
They're just
show.
like Bane's a character, so
and I
he's
love
here.
It.
He's
it's
the henchman
so
guy.
Weird.
It totally is. Joel Schumacher literally wrote a Batman musical, took out the musical numbers, and this is what we got. This is a Broadway performance of Batman, except...
Like, you can take any scene. Like, imagine the Bat credit card scene on stage, where there's 3 actors standing, they're all lit, and then Batman pulls out the Bat credit card, and the whole audience laughs, and they all pause for a second for the laugh. This is
children's theater, bro.
This is a modern day stage show put to film, and it might be the most genius thing ever.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's a stretch, but
that is a stretch.
I do like where you're going with this analysis, dude.
Regardless, yeah, the movie feels a lot like a stage show. There's definitely. It has the pros and cons of a stage show. A lot of the action is actually really fun in this movie. Not all of it, but like the ice skating shit that happens at the start is something. I mean, it's definitely a unique set piece to have Batman and Robin go up against hockey players while ice skating around with ice skates that they clap out of their boots by going like this.
That is such...
Just conveniently built in. I mean... it's cheesy and it's weird, but like, despite what Doug says, the back credit card actually got a laugh out of me unironically. I think it's pretty funny.
It's really retarded, but it's funny. And the
Well,
thing
that's
is,
what makes it funny.
that wasn't like, let's try to be funny unironically. It's like, this is
They knew
retarded.
it was
That's
stupid.
why it's funny.
They even, when he pulls it
That's
out, it
why
goes,
I
"Cha-ching!"
said it's like the Freddy Got Fingered of action movies, because it's like, what's the most retarded thing we can do at this moment?
See,
and we'll just fucking do it. Like, they knew it was bad. I think Joel Schumacher unironically knew that a lot of what he did with this movie is fucking horrible. Like, the
I
back
think
credit
he made
card
it like that
had
on
to have known it
purpose.
was... Yes!
because
That's the thing. It
The
wasn't
thing-
him trying to sabotage the movie.
I think what
He
happens.
just wanted to do weird fucking shit. Retarded shit, because he thought it was funny.
I
That's
think-
why the back credit card is a thing.
I think it was the double whammy.
That's why
'cause
he wanted to... He
despite
wanted to
how-
cast goddamn Coolio as Scarecrow.
Despite-
That is such a stupid decision.
Yes,
that is
it is.
hilarious. And
I
you
think-
can tell Arnold as Mr. Freeze.
I think it was
He
the
knew what he
perfect
was
cross
fucking
section.
doing.
Because
I'm convinced.
Burton complained about them wanting to make Batman Forever lighter, so he dropped out. Batman Forever is a touch lighter, but it's not a whole lot lighter. I mean, it's a shade lighter, but this is a whole nother level. I think after Batman Forever came out, the studio executive said, "Good job, we need to go even lighter to appeal to kids." And Joel Schumacher was like, "Yeah, whatever, I guess I'll just go full retard." And he went
That's what I
full
think.
retard. He went,
It's not even that
he
much
went
lighter. People are dying at the same pace. Dark
yeah, but
shit's
it's more
still
retarded.
happening.
He went
That's
full
what it is.
retard. He went Freddy Got Fingered on it.
That's what I'm saying.
He turned it into a fucking farce. On
Dude, it
purpose. That was
totally
a
is.
joke.
It totally is. I don't think the film... I feel like a lot of bad films are filmmakers trying to make something good and making something bad.
And this was
This
him
seems
making
like
something bad as a joke.
Dude,
Basically.
I think Joel Schumacher's the original Bane poster, bro. He Bane posted, bro. He put
there's-
Bane in the goddamn movie.
There's so many moments in this that are just like, I don't know, man. Between everything is a pun, which I think
There's too many puns for it to be on purpose.
there's too many puns for it to be accidental. Like Joel Schumacher or
There's
whoever wrote the script at some point would have been like, this is too much and this is gonna get annoying. And whoever was writing it, Joel Schumacher, whatever, said, this movie's gonna be full retard anyway, so we might as well pump it up until it gets annoying, you know?
Not that any
It doesn't feel like an accident that there's too many puns, it feels like it's there to be annoying.
This is Joel Schumacher's Batman Returns, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, Michael Keaton's Batman, that's a Batman movie that's a Tim Burton grounded. Batman Forever. That's a Batman movie that is Joel Schumacher grounded. Batman Returns went full retard in its own way, and Batman and Robin went full retard in its own way as well.
I mean,
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I hate any of these four movies. I went in expecting to hate all four of them, at least to a level. But I think Batman Forever, in a way, like I said, it's almost impossible to pin down, but I think we might have it right. I think he made a movie, he knew it was full retard. His vision was a full retard stage musical without songs in the Batman universe.
like, there are so
It
many
is the
things.
Freddy Got Fingered of superhero
There are so many
movies.
things that lead me to think that this was not an accident. Like,
Too many.
this movie literally starts with a close-up of Batman and Robin's asses and nipples.
Yeah, it was pretty.
There's so
homoerotic.
much stuff, and I think he was also playing up the homoerotic angle, like Bruce Wayne or Batman and Robin being jealous over each other and all that shit. I think he was
Right.
kind of playing up the gay stuff as a joke as well.
That's probably
It's fairly subtle, but this is also the man who gave us "Kiss from a Rose," so.
right.
But man, I mean, there are definitely weak aspects. The villains, they're all trash. The plot in general is pretty basic.
trash. The plot is bizarre.
The comedy and production design are like so awkward and bizarre that it's almost like I don't know how to describe it. The stage show thing comes to mind, but it's
Dude.
like clearly he knew what he was making was trash, and so he just went all out with making it trash. So the comedy, the production
The
design,
Batman surfboard, the Batman ice skates.
yeah, the fucking surfboard, the
him
ice
getting
skates.
frozen to the rocket ship. The entire city getting frozen. It's so fucking schlocky that there's no way it was an accident.
All of Mr. Freeze's 10 million ice puns. Literally, Mr. Freeze, every single line has some sort of pun about cold ice or snow.
I think Joel Schumacher wanted Warner Brothers to pay $100 million for his shit post.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
That's what it feels like. And
I'm not saying Joel Schumacher ever made anything that's truly great.
Despite how...
But like Phantom of the Opera, I watched that fairly recently.
Actually,
and
that one.
Not that it's my favorite movie ever, but it's competently shot, and it seems like he knows what he's doing. Like I feel like Joel Schumacher's competent enough to look at this movie and be like, this is gonna be god fucking awful. Which makes me believe that it was intentional. He's not so stupid. Like he's not like
That's what I'm
he's
saying.
not like so non-self-aware. It's not like a Tommy Wiseau situation where like Tommy Wiseau thought The Room was great.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Joel Schumacher watched this movie and thought it was great.
No, this is...
I think Joel Schumacher knew this movie was fucking in a way trash.
This is an ironic trash fire. Made by a man who knew he could get away with it.
This movie's fucking fascinating, dude.
It is. And, I mean, a lot of the basic aspects of this movie are bad. There's no getting around it. The villains are horrendous. Pretty much every character in this movie is horrendous. Even
For what everybody's given, though,
Alfred
the
is
acting isn't
probably-
even that bad.
The acting's not that bad, but the characterization is bad.
The shot composition is not that bad.
Batman has borderline no character.
They just wrote the most retarded script ever.
Batman has borderline no character. Robin basically
Right.
retreads his thing from the last movie about Bruce not
Well, what
trusting
can you
him.
even do with Batman anymore? Give him another love interest? That's gonna be a little stale.
Batwoman has almost no character. And the villains we've gone over a couple times are all terrible. So there's a general level of just like actual badness, but there's a heavy layer of ironic badness on top of it that makes it kind of really fun to watch, even though it's also kind of objectively bad. And it's fascinating, and it's not boring to watch in any way. I mean, I was pretty hooked through the whole thing. It's interesting, it's weird, it's unique. It's really something. And I honestly do enjoy it. I do like it. And yes, that is kind of a general outline of this thing. So Connor, would you recommend Batman and Robin and also rank all 4 of the 90s Batman quadrilogy?
I would recommend this movie to someone who wants to watch a weird shitpost. If you go in with the mindset that this is like an incredibly expensive $200 million shitpost by Joel Schumacher, there's a lot you can get out of this. This is a movie to get drunk with friends and watch because it's funny bad.
Yeah, you get to see the bat nipples
It
and the
is
bat credit card and the badass.
That's what a lot of people criticize. I feel like a lot of people haven't watched this movie in a year, in 10, 20 years, and criticize this movie for the basis. Like, the bat credit card, the bat nipples. But you gotta understand, that is the frosting on the cake of this massive shitpost. And even apparently I read that Bob Kane was upset about the bat nipples, and Joel Schumacher said, "Get over it. It's my Gotham for the 90s, bro." He's like, I feel like it was a massive shitpost. I feel like this is someone that thinks Batman is the most retarded character ever. And he just did this
He
because
just
they
went
gave
ham.
him a bunch of money, so he just made a massive shitpost. And I think that's kind of hilarious, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was.
it kind of reminds me of Escape from LA.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'll explain this real quick.
Well, like,
After Escape from New York, John Carpenter was offered a bunch of money to do Escape from LA, which he refused for a few years. And eventually, I think it was either the late 90s or early 2000s, he finally accepted. And as a joke, he made Escape from LA the way that producers wanted him to make Escape from New York. And it turned out really fucking terrible. And he basically did it just to dunk on all the people who tried to tell him how to make his movies. It was basically just a massively expensive shitpost that made no money. And this kind of feels like that.
I think if I had to guess, I feel like if I could get, an intimate conversation with Joel Schumacher, I feel like that would be the story about Batman Forever and this movie. I feel like Batman Forever he kind of wanted to do to a level seriously, and then Batman and Robin he just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck it, no matter what garbage I spew on the screen, it's gonna sell just because it has Batman's name. So I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of shit a lot of creative choices in this movie was a massive fucking shit post. And even just like interviews I've been reading about Joel Schumacher on the lead up to watching these movies, I think we're on to something here. I do believe that Joel Schumacher was memeing.
Yeah.
So I would recommend Batman and Robin, but go into the mindset that don't go in expecting something good. Go in with the mindset that this is a very unique film. If what we said through this review makes you interested, you'll probably have a good time and think it's funny. If you go in with the mindset that you want to see like a Batman movie that's trying to say
cool
something or be accurate to the comics or anything, like you gotta go into this movie like you're watching an overt comedy, and I would recommend
Like you're
this.
watching an awkward stage show.
Yes, an awkward like middle school stage show. Honestly, dude, I want to adapt it, dude. I'm gonna become a middle school teacher now.
Adapt Batman
Just so
Robin.
I can be like, hey, maybe I could take on like the theater. They'd be like, yeah, no one else really wants to do it. And I'd be like, cool, I actually wrote up my own screenplay. It's called Batman and Robin.
Just print out the screenplay for Batman and Robin. The entire thing.
Yeah, dude, I'll make elaborate effects. I'll be like, is it safe to like wind up a fucking bungee cord and have a kid just flip around with a surfboard duct taped to his fucking feet? Just spinning around, two of them, just getting fucking vigorously whiplash from flipping around on the surfboard, flying through the air.
Can have him slide across the stage on boogie boards or something, it's fine.
Yeah. No, I'm down, dude. My goal is to see this on the stage. Anyways, Aidan, would you recommend Batman and Robin?
Yeah, I mean, if you're prepared for what it is and not what you expect it to be. I mean, I think a lot of the hate from this movie comes in from people expecting more of what they got before, more actual Batman movie, and less elaborate shitposts. You're probably not gonna have a good time, but if you go in thinking this is some brilliant man wasting $200 million of Warner Brothers money, it's a fucking it's
a riot, dude. it's a fucking riot.
It's a very bizarre riot. I like it a lot. Some people might, some people won't, but it depends on the mindset you go into it with. Because it's definitely not what you expect, and it's also very funny at times. And it manages to be decently engaging when it's not funny. Not incredible, but good enough. So yeah, I would generally recommend it.
So what would you rank the Batman 1990s movies? How would you rank the Batman 1990s movies?
Okay. So on top is 89. Because that's the legitimate good one. After that, I'd probably say Forever. I know people aren't too hot on Forever, but I thought it was decent enough. Kind of walked the line of being an actual Batman movie and being funny and weird. Then I'd probably put Batman and Robin. I just like how obnoxious and dumb it is, and Batman Returns I don't care for that much. I don't hate Batman Returns either, it's just not a Batman movie. So how would you rank these films that we saw?
I think, like you, Batman 89 is a good movie. Then I would say Batman Forever. As it's actually a Batman movie. And then Batman Returns and Batman and Robin, I'm not even gonna rank those. Those are their own categories.
Capo.
Because
Ooh.
here's the thing. Batman Returns is a Tim Burton movie. It's not a Batman movie at all. See, here's the thing. Tim Burton's like, yeah, it'd be cool to direct a Batman movie, I'll do it. And he made Batman, 1989. And Joel Schumacher said, yeah, it'd be cool to make a Batman movie. And he made Batman Forever. And then the second time around, they got offered a lot of money, so like, okay. And they made Batman Returns and Batman and Robin. Batman Returns is not a Batman movie. It's not a Catwoman movie. It's a goddamn Tim Burton movie with the Batman name slotted on so he could get a bigger paycheck from Warner Brothers instead of having to shop the script around as an original IP just to make less money.
Yep.
That's what it was.
Yep.
So I don't count it as a Batman movie, so I'm not going to rank it. Batman and Robin is a stage play musical without music numbers. And it's just a massive $200 million shitpost. So I don't count that either. I'm not ranking it. So that's my thing. Batman and Batman Forever. Batman's a good movie. Batman Forever, it's not terrible. And then Batman Returns and Batman and Robin, they're not real fucking movies. They're not real Batman movies.
I would almost...
One is a generic Tim Burton movie that I would say you could put he could have done that movie in claymation with different fucking characters and it would have been no different.
I'd almost...
Evil Slime Man, fucking
Zombie Girl.
Corpse Zombie Girl, and Guy Who Shows Up.
I would almost
What
say...
is different? That's the description of Batman Returns. It's not a fucking Batman movie. That's bullshit to say that. And I hate when people call it, they give it good grades about being a Batman movie. It's not a fucking Batman movie. That's fucking bullshit. We shouldn't have even watched it for this marathon. It was a waste of time.
I would almost say Batman and Robin is barely a movie.
Batman and Robin isn't a movie. It's a fucking stage play. And it's a fucking shitpost. It's funny. It's a good time. I don't hate it. And I don't hate Batman Returns for what it is. But I'm not going to call Batman Returns a Batman movie. And I'm not going to call Batman and Robin a Batman movie either. Batman and Robin's a 2-hour shitpost, pre-shitpost, like a fucking ancient pre-shitpost, ancient shitpost thing, and fucking Batman Returns is just a Tim Burton movie that he switched a couple names around so that he got paid for a full-price Batman when it was really just like...
Something.
Like, he could have changed the names, put it in stop motion, and it would have fit right along with The Corpse Bride and fucking Nightmare Before Christmas.
Frankenweenie
and the like. Well, Frankenweenie's a remake of a 1970s TV Disney movie.
Yeah, I know.
But the point is, I don't think it's a cop-out to say. I feel like it's a completely fair measurement. I think it would be unfair to rank Batman Returns because it's a Tim Burton original movie. He reslotted. I feel like these are all hot takes we've made on these movies, but I don't think we're wrong at all. Like, I feel like our opinion is very accurate. Like, you watch... There's never... In none of these movies, the closest thing to the comics is the first Batman movie. And it's not incredibly accurate. It's pretty accurate. There's some shit shuffled around. Batman Forever and Batman Returns, or Batman and Robin and Batman Returns.
Not even.
They didn't even fucking try, dude. It was so fucking bizarre. It's off the fucking walls. It makes no sense. Neither of these are Batman movies. I refuse to accept it. Especially Batman Returns. Like, Batman Returns, that shit's not a fucking Batman movie. That's the biggest load of bullshit ever. I think Tim Burton made an excellent scam saying, here, look at my Batman movie, everybody. LOL. This shit's bullshit. It's such fucking bullshit.
You're right.
Whatever.
Anyway, that concludes our little watch through the quadrilogy of the 90s Batmans. We're gonna go forward and watch the Nolan
Batman
trilogy
69
after this.
is coming up next.
Okay, we'll watch Batman 69 after this, and then we'll return to the Nolan trilogy. So we will see you soon with even more Bat content, more Bat credit
You
cards.
better get ready for Batman 69.
69.
Oh, epic meme.
It's the weed number.
It's the weed number, dude.
I'm gonna blow.
Tell me about Bane! Why does he wear the mask? A lot of loyalty for a hired gun! At least you can talk! Who are you? If I pull that off, will you die? You're a big guy. Was getting caught part of your plan?